Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Edoggz Reviews. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Transformers Rise of the Beast Studio Series number 101 Leader Class Scourge. I'm going to take you around the box. I'm going to read a little bio. We're going to get into the figure and do some comparisons. So the figure does come in robot mode, as you can see on the right. It is for ages 8 and up. On the left, we have a nice picture of Scourge. Maybe he's running into battle. Maybe he's running from battle. We don't know exactly sure. On this side of the box, we have Scourge in a different pose. On the bottom, it says plastic-free packaging. On this side of the box, we have him in a robot mode here. It takes 31 steps to get him in this truck mode. It comes with this accessory. Excuse me. We have a piece of scenery titled Attack at the Museum. On this side of the box, it says Studio Series 101 Leader Class on the bottom, and we have Scourge's face in the middle. On the top of the box, it just says Transformers Rise of the Beast. On the bottom of the box, it just says barcodes and things. Now, that extra accessory is this arm cannon here. We'll show that off. Plus, we're going to be bringing in a special effects part from the Siege, Skyfire, or Jetfire, depending on who you are. Scourge is a Terracon. Scourge is the leader of the Terracons and the most fearsome trophy hunter in the universe. He is ruthless, cunning, treacherous, cruel, and incredibly powerful player that should be avoided at any cost. He commands the Terracons on the mission of destruction they have carried out for thousands of years across thousands of worlds, leaving nothing but chaos and ruin in their wake. So we're going to bring in the piece of scenery called Attack of the Museum, and you can throw them in any pose you see fit. You can have that going on. Let's get a close-up of the figure. So this is what the figure is going to look like. My light is on, so it's going to look brighter than what you see. But this is what the figure looks like from the front. This is what it looks like from the side. This is what the figure looks like from the back. Other side. Get a close up of his face. Now, when it comes to paint apps, I would like to see just a tad more paint on here. I like the fact that they gave it this tan color for these chains to make it look like rust. So you have some there on that arm and the forearm there, right before the wrist. We have some over there, but there on that wrist. Maybe we have some scratch marks or some damage here and here, which is nice. Some more chains down that right thigh there. We have some silver here and a little bit of silver there. Now, since we are in this section, I would have loved the back to be painted silver. So these pipes could have been painted silver, or maybe this whole back panel could have been painted silver. One or the other. Give it a little bit more detail. Why not? Everything else to point out, I'll probably do it in the vehicle mode. So let's get into the articulation. So the arms can go out there on the inner shoulder, and there's the outer shoulder, if you will. So you can go all the way out there. Let's get that in focus. Thank you. And we can bring down on the arm, right? There's a swivel here. There's no swivel at the wrist, let's say. These things here can be moved by the base, so you can have that going on if you want. There is waist articulation going that way, and a little bit going that way. Same thing on the other arm. It goes all the way up, bringing the shoulder up like that. And the hands move at the knuckle, but not at the fingers, so you have that going on. Legs can go all the way out there, which is very high, and then we can bring it down on a very nice ratchet on the knee. We move outwards like so, and we have rotation in the area where the trailer hitch is, and you can move backwards and forwards. If you bring it all the way out, you can go all the way around, but that's for the transformation. We have some wiggle room on the feet like that, you know, for wide stance. You can bring it back if you need to. You can bring it forward if you need to, but this is for the transformation. Move backward on that leg right there. You can move all the way back on that nice ratchet on the knee. And again, if you need to, you can bring this leg down. I mean, the foot down like that. Outward movement, you can go that far with that leg. Now the head, I'm so glad that they packaged this in a box, because his head does come off pretty easy. And if you are a collector of figures, you will know there are people out there who just like stealing the heads off of figures, starting with LeBron James from Space Jam 2, I believe. And then it had trickled down to Legacy, Evolution, Beast Wars, Inferno. I've seen a couple of those, the heads missing. And all you have to do is, sometimes you could just do this and it will just pop off. And other times you just lightly tug and it will pop off. So now they have that extra security that, you know, you can't just get into it and just take it. But you can do that on the head. And you can make his face tilt that way, emote, if you will. You can tilt it that way, like that. And if you have enough sunlight, you can make his eyes turn a different color, like so. In the movie, if you've seen the movie, his height, his chest does glow as well, but it doesn't work because there's no light to travel down there. Now, as for his weapon, let's get him to stand. Alright, so this one is locked into place. As for his weapon, you have this right here. And you take it off the left arm. Just like that. And there's like a key there. And there's a keyhole there. And you just put these two together. And you can have an arm cannon. If you throw in the special effects part, you can have that going on. You kind of put them in a pose. Is that going to stand for me? So maybe you have something like that where, you know, he's firing and maybe he's blocking with this weapon. Now, as for the other weapon, you can do a couple of things. You can unplug it, and you can kind of leave it there if you want. You can, if you choose to want, you can have it underneath the arm like that. But what they really want you to do is open the hand, and they want you to bring this up, clip this into his hand, make sure all of this is together, close the hand, and you can have that weapon. And again, a little bit more paint app on this blade, especially on the edge of the blade, on both sides, maybe on this little piece right here. You know what I'm getting at. Just a little bit more. All right. So we're going to do a comparison real quick. Let's get this arm cannon back on, just for this one shot. All right. So we have Battle Chap, which is a Voyager. We like to see that there. We also have the 86 Scourge, which is also a Voyager. Yeah, that. So we're going to turn them this side. Right, so you can see the back panel there. Turn them around to the back. And I want to say at this point, the backpacks are kind of following the 86 transformation, because it just folds up very neatly and very clean. We have this side. Plus, this Scourge has the same designs as these. I want to say the same design, but it's the same idea as these wings that fold outwards. And that is about it for that. Now, the transformation takes 31 steps. And the first thing we need to do, we need to take this off. Now, I'm going to show you something real quick before we continue. All right. You put this claw back on, and there's a keyhole there. And just have to match it, plug it together. Now, let's say you don't want this this arm cannon on him, so instead they included this slot on the back, and they got a peg there. You can just peg it on there. It doesn't matter what direction you point it in. You go stick it on there, and you can have this going on, right? Weapon storage. So you have that there. So it's time to transform it. So we're gonna just close this up. We're going to undo this weapon here. Now, this first thing you want to do is you want to get the weapon out of the way. You know, just bring this out on this armature, bring it forward, leave it down like that. And it's an option if you want the hands open or you want them closed. Right. Alright, so now we're going to first start with the backpack. So we're going to take this arm cannon off. We're going to undo this backpack, just flip it backwards like that, and you're going to free up this section here. So you want to take this middle section here, bring this all the way back, and bring this piece all the way back. Please forgive the lights and sounds outside. Then we have this piece right here. Bring this open and bring that open, right? So we're going to extend all of this like that. To get it ready, right? So you're going to have this going on. Next thing we want to do is we want to bring up on the arm and bring down on the inner shoulder here, and we're going to flip this backwards, right? But before we do that, we have to close up this weapon, and there's a peg. There's a peg right here, because if you leave it out like this, it's not going to fit. So we want to bring that down, peg it together. Now we want to fold this around, so you need to unplug it from this side. Oops, we're not ready for that. Want to unplug it from the side and bring it around. Right, nice and easy. Right, take the other arm. You want to bring it all the way up. Take the outer shoulder, bring this all the way down, and you want to unplug it from the side. Bring it all the way back, like that. Make sure all of this is good to go. Now, what I like to do is I like to finish the front. So we're going to collapse like that. So we're going to collapse it just like this. Bring this down, and you want to bring it forward. And you got to make sure all of this stuff is not in your way. Right, so bring that down like that. So it's going to be in this configuration like that. and that's how you get this together. Right, so you just push down and you plug the front end together where the two pegs are at the front at the top. So you just plug this in together. Make sure that's closed. Right? So that's done. So you got almost the front done. So we're going to finish. You're going to need to unplug this piece right here. Bring this up. Right? You want to go into the side, but bring this out. Bring this side, bring that out. You want to focus on this piece right here. Just bring it back like that. You want to take this wheel right here. Bring this around like that. This is the easy side. And you want to plug it into that slot there. Right. This piece right there kind of threw me for a loop. So you got to bring this out and you have to manipulate it in a way that you can get it around. So it swings like this. So when you get it into the truck mode, it has to be this way. You bring it out and you need to swing up like that. And then you bring this out like this. Bring it down on the armature. You bring this up, right? And then you plug it in. Right, plug that in. So you have the front done, and the rest is kind of easy. So on the legs, you display them open, and you want to just turn these wheels on the outside. So it's half turn. So you just half turn that way, half turn on that way. It doesn't matter what direction you take it in. Just do a half turn. Right. So on the inside of his, what is this? This is left leg. You're gonna see this slot right there. And you wanna bring this blade down, and there's a peg there. You just peg those two together. Right? The feet are easy. You take the tip of the feet, I say the front portion of the feet. You want to swing it down like this, and there's a peg. Where's the peg? The peg is right there. If I can get it, peg is right there, and there's a hole there. And just flip this up, plug that in. And this one's a little different. This one has a peg inside of the foot, so you gotta get that out first. And again, you want to swing the front portion of the foot this way. And you want to have this peg pop into this hole. Just bring this up like that, and then you take this peg and you pop them together. Right? Now make sure all of this is down. Make sure all of that down. Now on the inside, you're gonna see this thing right here, and this has to fall in between this finger. Let's call that right. Just make sure it has enough space. And just gonna bring it down on the door like that. We're gonna spin this up, spin that up, but you'll have the exhaust pipe, and you have a slot there. So you just pop this into the slot. Same thing on the opposite side. Just bring down this door. Bring up the exhaust pipes, or I should say smokestacks. I was thinking of smokestacks. And you just make sure that's plugged in. Right, bring those back. Make sure all of this is good to go by squeezing it down the middle. And you want to make sure that this finger is actually in between that piece. Right. So there you have it. You have a Peterbilt 359 Max style truck. So I really like this thing. Right. So this is what it looks from the side. Not too much going on in the back, but I could kind of see where, you know, this might be like a mud flap type of thing. You have this side right here. I wish this was silver, because a lot of times it is. Um, Here it is from the front. You have these little Autobot badges there. You can make them out with the eye, but I believe they're actually silver in the movie. And we have some more chain detail here. We have the windows that make it look really evil. You have the engine bay, which looks like really like straight from another place I can't mention. And then you have the bottom part, which has the visible head syndrome over here. And then you have the legs and the waist of the legs. And that's pretty much it. And the hands are up here. Right. Now there's another piece of transformation I forgot to mention. And these wheels. You have to pop them outward. Normally I don't do that. I just leave them out. Just leave them there. Just one less move that you have to do. I would have preferred them to move down to meet the surface, because when it rolls, it wants to pull to the left. Let's get this mounted. Right, so you gotta constantly fix it. Right? But it does roll well. Another thing, the smokestacks, I wish they were on like small washers that you can tighten, because they do not peg in anywhere. I mean, there is a little one there, but it's not doing what it's supposed to lock in, that type of deal. It's not really doing its job of it, you know. A little bit more paint on the air intakes here, but yeah, but this is really good. Now, as for this arm cannon, it does go on the back, and all you have to do is split it in two. Split it into like that. And you want to do this, turn in the right direction. You want to find these two slots. You want to bring them down like that. And you want to plug this in. All right, so there's one. Took some doing here. There's one. For some reason this won't plug in correctly. Okay, so you have this version of it. You can do it that way, or you flip this like this, right? Where there are these holes have to be on the outside. Right, so you have that. So that's what it's supposed to look like. Let's do some comparisons. So first up, is going to be Bone Crusher from the first movie, and he is a Voyager. Kind of have that going on there. The back, other side, and show you the length here. It's gonna fall apart. That's okay. There's the length there. Let's pop this back on. It's going to bring it in one more. We're going to bring in the NPM blackout. Show you the scale there. And again, ignore the lights and sounds outside, but that's what that looks like. Give this a spin. So getting it back into robot mode is very easy. Let's get this out of here. We're going to unplug this. Let's get this out of the way. So we're going to turn this and this, and we want to rotate this up, and we just want to collapse it like that. Very easy. All right, keep that there. First thing we're going to do is these smokestacks. Bring those down. Focus on the stairs here. And again, a little bit of silver wouldn't hurt there as well. Bring that up. Finish off these smokestacks. Same thing, opposite side. Bring those up. Bring the smokestacks down. Like that. You want to separate the legs. Get those out. You want to take this peg, you want to push it into the foot, bring the foot down, bring the foot down, and you want to you want to swing this forward like that. Opposite side, bring this down, swing this forward. Unplug the weapon from his leg, split the legs open like that, and you want to go 1/2 here, but let me go back real quick. So we had this in the vehicle mode. Now this is the trailer hitch, and they're aimed the opposite way, so it's kind of weird. So what am I doing? We want to go halfway there and halfway there, and the legs are done. Right. Next, we want to unplug this front grille here. Just unplug it. It's on a flexible plastic. And we're going to focus on the right hand side wheel. We want to bring that out. We want to flip this down. Right? Plug this back in. We're not ready for that. So we're going to get on the other side. We're going to unplug this. Bring this out. And again, when you're going into the vehicle mode, you do this like that. When you go into the robot mode, just bring this down, and you want to bring this up and rotate it down like that, and then you bring it in like that. Take the front piece right here, and you want to bring that down. Take the side piece right here and bring that back. Another side piece, bring that back. The center piece right here, just bring that up. You got to unplug it from the sides and bring it up like that. You want to rotate the arms out of that socket. Bring this all the way over and peg it into this slot right here where my thumb is. Plug it in there. You want to bring the arm up, bring it down on the shoulder, and just do a little bit of adjustments right there. Same thing opposite side, bring this out. Sometimes this will get caught up in there. Bring this over. Right? Bring the arm up and bring this down. Right? Do some adjustments. Right? So backpack is next, so you're going to extend the backpack. Right, so we're going to focus on this piece right here on the end. Bring this in like so, and then you do it one more time. Bring it down here. Now you can't do this first. You have to do these first. So you want to backtrack this a little bit. You want to get these side pieces first. Plug those in, and then you fold this in like that. And you want to bring this in, right? And you just want to fold it the exact same way you found it in. Bring this up like that. You want to swing this in like this, bring it up like that, and there's a slot there, and there's a peg on his back, so you just pop those two together. Right. You want to bring this weapon back like so. You want to flip this blade open up his hand, flip this into his hand. It plugs in. Right, get this all situated. Close the hand. Right. And let's say you want to put this back there, you can, and you can leave it, or you can take the arm, I would say his left arm, and you have to put it in storage because they did not include a peg for this to store behind this back. Oh, so you gotta manage this. And there you have it. You have Scourge back in his robot mode, and you have to undo his feet because he will not stand correctly. So you have that. Bring this blade up, bring this arm up, these fingers, and these are like a flexible plastic, so you can do whatever you want with this. Now it would have been cool if this had like a spinning motion, like you can spin it, but it doesn't. Right, so we're gonna bring in battle trap. We're gonna stick them there. We're gonna bring in 86 Scourge. We're gonna put them on that side. We're gonna bring in Bone Crusher from the first movie. And before I go on, let me just point out something. Bone Crusher, right? He's a Decepticon, right? But the Bumblebee Buzzworthy has two symbols on it. So there's a small Decepticon symbol there, and then there's an Autobot nest symbol there. So did he catch this before or after he scanned it? I'm not exactly sure, but Decepticons would never have a Autobot badge on it. You know, just something to point out. You want to stick that back here. We have some space. We have space. We're gonna bring in Blackout. I'm gonna move just a little bit, and that is going to conclude this video review. Now there is word that this character may show up in the MPN line, and I can't wait to see that. I'm not exactly sure where they're at, but they're almost finished with the first movie, with Bone Crusher being the last character to be made as a MPM, and I'm not exactly sure how they're gonna pick characters to be next, but he's gonna be in that line waiting. So if you enjoy this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'd like to thank Mr. Vanderson for subscribing to my channel. I also like to thank Savage Diamond, that's his name, Savage Diamond, for subscribing to the channel. And there's going to be more to come, so please stick around, and I'm going to see you in the next one.